So hey, how's it going? How's it going, gentlemen? My name is Frene, as you know, and there was some drama around Silksong, so we're gonna check it out. I'm gonna talk some smack because it's everything I do, as you know, and you like it. Don't forget about it, okay?
So Silksong's got an all-time peak player count on Steam of 587,150, which is really cool. Congrats.
Damn.
However, some of the so-called modern audience are actually very upset at Silksong. At the lower part of this tweet, we can see this account Stealth saying, many indie developers are delaying their games to get out of Hollow Knight Silksong's way. They had marketing plans which now have to be changed because of something they couldn't anticipate. This Joseph person says, I think Silksong's 2-week PR push has done some damage to other indie studios. I don't think Team Cherry thought about the impact this game would have on other indies in their marketing. I think that's a bummer that I hope isn't replicated, to be honest. Wario64 tweeted, Baby Steps is the latest game to move its release date because of Silksong from September 8th to September 23rd. And this FaceTime account saying, I can't be the only person who thinks it's kind of messed up for Silksong to reveal its release date so late. Like, man, you're indie developers. You should understand the struggle that studios go through. And then we
It's kinda scary that all of these business owners don't understand business, you know what I'm saying? They're not your friends, they're competition, you know what I'm saying? They selling similar product as you do, and their product is really good, really cheap, and was made, wonderfully, and that's kind of the whole point of competition. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, whenever something like that happens, in business, like some, car manufacturer makes really good car for not a lot of money, other manufacturers, either get better or start making cheaper cars, either way, because they want to compete, right? But like now in 2025, if something like that happens, Team Cherry releases a great game, other indie developers just whine about it. You know what I'm saying? That's not competition. You're not entitled to money. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to compete, make your games better or make them cheaper. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. Crazy. It's not crazy, it's scary. You know what I'm saying? How are you able to run your business if you don't know shit about business? That's crazy. That's crazy.
got this account Strife saying, by the way, Team Cherry absolutely had the responsibility of giving a heads up about the release of Silksong and accommodating other indie devs in regards to it. Art isn't made in a vacuum, and as indie devs, they absolutely should know.
It's business, and they did a very, very good job because they crushed the fucking competition. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole point. These people crazy. These people crazy. Why am I talking about it? They're crazy.
Know how hard it is for other indie devs to be visible. And some gaming journalist article titled, Is Hollow Knight Silksong's cheap price a problem for other indie games? Devs and publishers weigh up its impact. It's a very odd thing. I mean, indie devs should be celebrating the success of Silksong, not complaining about it. And to be fair, there have been lots of devs congratulating Silksong. However, clearly, some aren't. And instead, they're insulting Silksong and the devs who worked on it. And it comes off like immense jealousy. And like they're just trying to muddy the waters of the indie scene, really. Because over recent years, we've seen indie games becoming beacons of light for gamers in an industry that's otherwise infested with corrupt AAA greed. Artur, the dev behind the indie series Soul Ash, would give his thoughts. We can see him saying here, some devs have become dependent on press, experts, publishers, conferences, awards, and a network of corporate friendships, and it shows. In other words, some of them are apparently selling out to the very AAA corpos that have pushed gamers away and more into the indie scene to begin with.
No, they don't know what is business, how business works. They think that making games is something greater, task of something greater. It's business. You make something to sell it for profit. If that's not your goal, you shouldn't be complaining about the success of Silksong and what it means to the indie game scene to begin with. But games are business, and Team Cherry made a very good job in crushing their competition. It is what it is, and it was the goal for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wanted to make a good game for a cheap price so that a lot of people can buy it. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal. You know what I'm saying? You want to make as good, your product as good as possible for, as little money as possible. You know what I'm saying? and they did it. And you're pissed because now you either have to make your games better or cheaper, and you don't want to do it. So you just complain about it, which is just crazy. This again, the entitlement is crazy. Just saying.
He would go on to say, many independents are still trying to preserve the meaning of the indie dev term, but it's being divided and conquered by larger interests. Which takes us to Madame Savvy, who responded to Permaband in the tweet that we had on screen a moment ago. And she says the reason why this happens is because a lot of quote unquote indie games and companies are captured. They play by the rules set forth by DI groups so they can be rewarded. Silksong's team didn't do that, they did their own thing. Anyone can release anytime for any price with zero notice. The individuals outing themselves with that language most likely have some interesting connections to industry capture crews. Now, ultimately, I think most.
Why the fuck would you do it? Like, think about it, right? Like, if you're one of these devs, think about it. Like, why the fuck would you let your competition know when you release your game and for how much and how good it is? And you don't want to do that because you're like, they are your fucking competition, right? But these people are either stupid as fuck or crazy, probably both. Let's be honest.
Indie devs, and when I say most, I mean like 99% or so, by far pretty much all of them, are still very cool, hardworking people. But it is concerning that there's a very small fraction who are apparently willing to sell out to corporate interests and do what they can to subvert the indie genre. But let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments, and as always,
What do I think? I think that these people are fucking crazy. To like, what you want to hear? You know what I'm saying? Like, they are complaining that their competitor is making them look bad, but that's kind of the whole thing. Like, that's kind of what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Crazy people doing crazy shit. I'm so surprised. I can't even express it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I guess that's 2025, brother. So yeah, my name is Frenny. That's what's up. These people crazy. See you later.